is the Hyundai Elantra N, and it is a car which will blow your mind. This is the key of the vehicle, says N right here. Lock the car, unlock the car, turn on the vehicle, and this is to open the boot of the vehicle. Very old Hyundai key. They've obviously updated the key now, but with this Elantra, you get the old key. Now, this Elantra N comes courtesy of Kiran Shetty to me here in Dubai, where the price of this car is 1.55 lakh dirham, which equates to around rupees 35 lakhs in Indian currency, which is stellar value for money, because for the price, this car is an absolute rocket. Is this a pocket rocket? Yes, it is. Straight away, let's open the engine bay, because it has the N turbo badging right there. Engine is quite powerful. There's insulation there, but it is so hot. I burnt my hand already. You can see there are cuts and creases on the bonnet. Lots of aggressive cuts on this car. This is sort of a checkered flag treatment inspired front grille, which has massive openings for better breathing, of course. But for 2024, they have updated the car with the tube light effect, obviously, because that's what Hyundai is doing now. That said, this is just the 2023 model, and the mechanicals remain more or less the same as before. So obviously, you're going to have fun in the driving part of this video if you have not already skipped this part. Meanwhile, the N logo right here, you get 4 parking sensors at the front, and you get this body kit as well. That's the front splitter. Massive Hyundai logo right there. This is halogen, which is surprising. LED lights, obviously LED DRL. This is the low beam, this is the high beam. You get level 2 ADAS. So there's a camera here, right there. That is a camera for lane keep assist. It gets a rain sensor too. Meanwhile, I think the front radar is, I don't know where it is. It's definitely not behind the Hyundai logo, but probably that's not important, because it's all about performance, and if you're going to drive performance oriented, you will definitely turn off ADAS in this car. In terms of length, this car is almost 4.7 meters. The wheelbase is more than 2.7 meters, so it's decently long. It looks quite nice and sexy from the side, because obviously it is lowered as well. Sort of sloping roofline there. Lots of cuts and creases right here. In fact, it has the N badging here on the side skirt, so a lot of N badging on this car. The wheels have got curved a bit. This is running on stock tires. This is the first N model which actually came with Michelin Pilot Sport tires, which is amazing. Tire size 245, 35, 19, massive 360 mm discs at the front, and logo here on the brake calipers, which is also finished in red color. Isn't that awesome? Lots of interesting treatments on this car. There is no camera here, which is kind of unfortunate, but Hyundai actually gives you a request sensor on the other side here. Not in India, because cost cutting, bro. Let's get inside. Because the Elantra is not very practical somehow, because the Indian 1i is just better in this regard. Space at the rear is decent, not that great. Under-thigh support is poor, obviously. You get AC vents, but nothing here. No charging ports in this car. No magazine pockets either. What's happening? It's not even scooped out. In fact, doesn't get a rear center armrest, but rear passenger does get a head. So you get 3 headrests, which is actually a good thing. But yes, this is quite reclined, which is actually good for comfort. That's the reason. Headroom is just about adequate for someone as tall as me. You get a handle to hold on to. In fact, you get a hook on this side, height adjustable seat belts as well, 6 airbags in this car, and the dashboard looks absolutely lovely, because this is very sporty indeed. Let me get out of this car, because let me show you the door pockets, which are actually small. At the rear, they are small, but nobody really cares. There should have been sun blinds here, because the sun is just way too bright here in the UAE. Shark fin antenna, which is finished in gloss black, obviously. You get a rear spoiler here, which obviously looks quite nice, and you have the N badging right here. Says Elantra right there. Again, halogen here. Nice looking lights. There are dual exhausts, one on this side and one on the other side. This is actually the rear fog. It gets this diffuser treatment as well. You get 4 parking sensors at the rear. There is a camera nicely integrated, and if you press this button, you will reach decathlon. Why? I'll tell you. Firstly, it has this connected tail light, which actually looks nice. Let me press this button, and here we are, because the boot has decathlon right inside. Because you have a lot of stuff which you actually get in decathlon. Spare wheel is not an alloy. It is also not full size. Sorry, the cork is flying. I mean, the shuttle is flying all over the place. So spare wheel is obviously not full size. It's smaller size. Let me actually pull this, because I can recline the seat. And did you see that? How they have braced that? I mean, I think that's for better handling probably, but not really. Anyways, enough of talking nonsense. Let's get inside the car. In the rear seat, we've already got in, but let me show you. You can actually put the seat down. I just pressed a button, and then it did not happen only. What is happening, bro? I think you have to press it from both the sides. Are you telling me this is not 60-40? This is a one-piece recline? Yeah, I think so. It is a one-piece recline, which is not that practical. What's happening? But you have this sort of strut brace for better handling. I think I crushed the cork.
Stop saying that.
The shuttle, I mean. Let's get inside. It's very sporty. This is the lowest end model. For starters, they've reduced the seat height by 10 mm. So you sit even lower. Electric adjust here. Obviously, this car is brand new. The stickers have not been removed. It says N right here. It has Bose sound system. Door pockets are decent size at the front. Illumination for all the switches. Beautiful blue stitching here. That is actually the tweeter. And you get a dead pedal here. It's also available with a manual. This makes no sense at all. Hyundai says that this has been done to give a balance to the dashboard because of the screens. This does nothing at all. At least put a magnet here. Why are you so lazy, Global Hyundai? Meanwhile, this is the headlight leveler, this for lane keep assist, and this for traction control. Steering wheel is adjustable, but manually, okay, it's too hard. Meanwhile, the seats are beautiful, like sporty seats with the N logo right there. But here in UAE, you don't get Alcantara. Otherwise, abroad, you get Alcantara. It also gets a sunroof, which I'll show you right away. First things first, let's try and move the steering wheel. Yeah, ahead and behind. All manual adjustment, which doesn't really work with one hand. Now it is. And let me turn off the indicator. Beautiful dashboard, looks amazing. Glove box is decent size as well. Seats are lovely. See the bolstering here. Meanwhile, you actually get a sunroof, but you don't get a sunroof with the manual. It's also available with a 6-speed manual. Here you get a mirror and a light which has to be activated separately. That's not very convenient. Do you get anything here? Yeah, you get the same thing here as well. Auto dimming mirror, SOS button. Press this button, ketchup will drop on you. Light controls here on the top, and there's a center armrest which has got some storage space with a USB-A. This car has got no USB-C charging sockets. It does not have wireless Apple CarPlay or Android Auto connectivity. You have to connect a wire, and that's the reason the 12 volt will be very useful here. Okay, this is connected to USB, and there's a secret lighter as well. This is a wireless charging pad. Now, of course, the dashboard looks lovely because it's finished in all black here. Screens will remind you of the India model because 10.25 inch screen here, another 10.25 inch screen right there. Before that, let's look at a few buttons. This is for the drive mode selector. This is for the parking camera, and you've got multiple views for the camera as well. That's about it. There's a top view. There's no 360-degree camera here, and this is for the parking sensors, front and rear parking sensors. Obviously, the gear lever says N. Obviously, there's a physical handbrake, twin cup holders as well, some gloss black finishing right here. AC is actually a chiller. You get a dual zone climate control air conditioning system. You get seat ventilation for the front seats only, not for the rear seats. The rear seat passengers have been royally ignored in this car, and some physical buttons here. That is the engine start button. Now this is a very slick screen, easy to operate. You get a lot of information, but I'm sure you are used to all this because phone projection, quiet mode, valet mode, voice memo, and all those things are obviously there in most of the cars sold by Hyundai in India. So we are going to get into the N mode because that is something which is definitely unique here. It tells you the throttle, oil temperature. So let me get on the throttle there. It's telling how much throttle is being applied. There's a tachometer. You can go into the full screen mode as well. Oh my god, that is like amazing. But I've already done a video of the i20N, which has the same thing. So I've also detailed that. Brake pressure, it's showing me right here. And then you can customize so many things like the steering, suspension, transmission, LSD, ESC, exhaust system, and whatnot. And then you can turn on launch control. You can get into G-force meter as well, and then performance options. This is crazy. You can set the launch RPM as well. You can decide when you want the shift light, you want an alert sound. I want an alert sound. And track sense, when you're on the track, then obviously it makes some changes to the transmission as well. And power shift, oh my god, this is like, okay, don't creep me out because it says auto creep off. Forget all this. This is just too many electronics. Meanwhile, here it says attention level high. I need to take a break. Let me change the cluster mode here because there are 3 drive modes, and when I change it, the cluster mode changes. I can just press this button to go through the drive mode. These are obviously for the audio system. This is to go through that particular screen. But if I press this N button, the cluster changes completely. It's telling me the oil temperature, the engine temperature. There's obviously a G-force meter on the right, and I can browse through that meter because it tells me the tire pressure, it tells me what is the turbo PSI and what is the torque output, and there's a lap timer. Oh my god, this car is overloaded. So many things here. And obviously this is a red button which says NGS. What does this mean? It means N green shift, which basically gives you some additional horsepower. N written here, but no flat bottom steering, which is a bit disappointing here. It should have had a flat bottom steering. Let's quickly open the sunroof, and there it opens. Yeah, it could have had a panoramic sunroof. I'm so greedy now. I'm always asking for more. But in terms of the interiors, now the rear seat passengers deserved better for sure. This plastic has not yet been removed in a car which has done more than 30,000 kilometers, which is quite insane. When I turn off the car, it's telling me the sunroof is open. So the usual Hyundai bits, and it says check rear seats for what? For USB ports? It's not there. I'm sorry. Anyways, let me turn on the car again, and it actually rose to life, especially if you're in N mode. Now it sounds bonkers. So I get into N mode. Right now it says service required. Oh, it was required 1,000 kilometers back. Yeah, we are activated N mode, and listen to this, okay? Oh my god, the patakas are crazy. Let's start driving right away. Before that, horn is so bad. All right, it's time to start driving. Let's turn on the vehicle. Let's turn off the air conditioning straight away. I'm going to come into N mode. It always keeps telling me service required. I will not service the car. Deal with it. Activate the launch control. Launch control has been activated. Left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, hazard lights off. Now notice one thing. First, let me actually change this to the G-force meter. No, we'll keep it to the turbo and torque meter. Okay, now I'm ready to launch, which means firstly I need to get into gear, and then notice launch control ready. I can adjust the RPM from here. I've increased the RPM and off we go. Too much of wheel spin, yeah, way too much wheel spin, because of which it's not achieved the time which is claimed. 5.3 seconds to go from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour. Not possible because of the kind of wheel spin. That's the problem with front wheel drive. Front wheel drive cannot handle so much power because this car is producing 280 horsepower and 392 Newton meters of torque. 392 actually reminds me of a Jeep, because if you know, you know. Anyways, around the corners, this car is very impressive, and the cracks and pops and all those things, they happen very aggressively here. This car tends to understeer a lot because way too much power going to the front wheels, which is not such a good thing. Yeah, it's just not able to handle that much. It kind of torque steers way too much. See, it was not able to launch. 7.2 seconds is very slow. Hyundai claims 5.3 seconds, which means this car is not even close. Hyundai is claiming it to be, which is a little disappointing. Red lines at 6,500 RPM. Downshift gearbox is actually fast pitch shifts. It's very aggressive pitch shifts. Let's actually turn on the G-force meter here because we can. And again, I am going to actually go that side because why not? So, oh my god, the cracks and pops. We're going to try and launch it once again because I was not happy at all with the launch. So I'm going to actually change the launch RPM. Okay, 3,500 is the maximum launch RPM. Never mind, shift light is on. It's going to alert me. All those things are on right now. So again, N mode, and okay, where we are, activate. Left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator. No, launch control conditions not met. What is happening? Why is this car behaving like a German car all of a sudden? Come on, no, it's not met. I think it's kind of heated up, but never mind. Let's start driving and let's talk more about this car. 2-liter turbocharged petrol engine, same as the Veloster N. However, there's slightly more power here. I think a 10 horsepower boost with this NGS, which is N green shift. So that's like a boost button here. That's the reason it's finished in red, which is quite nice. If I change the drive modes here, there are 3 of them. There's obviously a tire pressure warning, which is coming right now. There's Eco, Sport, and Normal. Sport is actually nice, and these meters are very similar to the ones we have seen in India. So nothing great or different here, nothing to brag about. But in the N mode, obviously it feels awesome. So a lot of the cluster modes and a lot of these things are very similar to the i20N, and that's the thing they have done. They've made things very similar. Turning radius is a bit of a here. Steering is actually very heavy, has good amount of feel and feedback, but the steering feels quite heavy here. So we're going to come to a halt right here. Hopefully I'm able to activate launch control and time this car. And launch control, come on, yeah, now it is active. Left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, revving the motor. Okay, no, we are not in N mode. How will it launch, bro? What are you doing? Now launch is ready. Increase the launch RPM and off we go. Traction control light is continuously blinking, but this seems to be like a better launch. 6.94 seconds, again quite slow compared to the claim time. Top speed 250 kilometers per hour, but definitely this car can go a lot faster is what I believe, because it has the punch. Engine is quite loud, but they've also piped in sounds from the speakers just to make it sound even better. Yeah, these fake sounds are there, which is usually the case with a lot of cars these days, because the insulation levels have improved so much now that they have to bring in the fake sound. Downshifts are aggressive. This is an 8-speed dual clutch automatic gearbox. It's a wet clutch, and look at the way it goes around the corners. Okay, the front is getting washed out. There's understeer there, but feels extremely aggressive, extremely precise as well, and the steering offers good amount of feel and feedback too. The only thing is it is quite compliant. It's not as stiff as say the i20N. So this is a sedan which actually feels very compliant in terms of the ride quality. Ride quality is actually very good here, so that's something which definitely impresses you. Fuel efficiency around 10 to 12 kilometers per liter when you drive it sanely. Drive it like a maniac, like I am doing right now. It will return 4 to 5 kilometers per liter for a 4-cylinder engine. That's actually quite bad. But yes, the tires offer good amount of grip, but the tires have kind of worn out right now. So again, they are not being spectacular here, the tires, in terms of grip. And oh my god, the exhaust is actually very nice. Yeah, the pops and cracks and the braps and all which is happening here, very impressive, no denying that fact. Okay, again, I just want to go around the circle again and again and again because body roll is very well contained, and there the front starts to wash out. So that is the problem with a front wheel drive car. Now obviously it has got an electronic rear differential, limited slip differential to put all that power down. It has got adaptive dampers too, which as it says will change the damping depending on the drive mode you are in right now. And it has good amount of power in the mid-range, feels good in the top end as well. It's just the sound which is so amazing now here, especially the fake sounds which come inside, which is not that great, but it's there. I can't help it, I can't change it. Whatever it is, it is. Anyways, steering is super duper heavy, because of which I have to wear this band today, because I'm kind of like, oh my god, I'm sweating a lot. Okay, let's go. So the weight of this car is around 1500 kgs. Oh, the pops and cracks. 1500 kgs is the weight of the car, which is not much, so they've kept the weight in check for sure. 46 litre fuel tank, which means you have to go to the pump very frequently. One full tank of fuel says 450 kilometers, not 450, around 480 kilometers, but honestly you can't get that range only because you're going to end up draining the fuel tank very fast here if you drive it like I am doing right now. You've got paddle shifters here, which is such a nice thing. I'm going to use the N green shift as well for that 10-15 additional horsepower boost, which is actually, I'll tell you why that exists, is because compared to the Velostar N, you get that additional boost here. Now hopefully launch control works. I'm firstly going to turn off traction control completely. So you press this button and traction control shut completely, which means ADAS is also shut in this car. We activate launch control. Yeah, launch RPM is fine. Left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator. Let's see what it does, and off we go. No, this car simply cannot launch, and this is an automatic. With the manual now the struggle will be even more. That's almost 7 seconds to go from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour, which actually makes it slower than the Octavia RS, which is slightly lesser power, which is sort of the direct competitor of this car. Now we're going to make a quick U-turn. No, why should we make a U-turn? We'll go straight. I was seeing that Urus, so I thought that guy braked because he's sort of stuck, but not really. And over these bumps and all, yeah, the ride is actually good. It's not very stiff, it's not bone jarring at all, so it manages that quite well. I am going to go to the performance options. Okay, ABS can get a bit sensitive. We are going to decrease the launch RPM to 2500. Let me give another try and see if I can get this car to launch aggressively enough to put a good 0 to 100 km per hour time, because right now whatever time I'm getting, I'm quite disappointed here. The way this car turns in is actually very good indeed. So good amount of grip from the tires. Michelin Pilot Sport, very first time in an N car, and the seat position is also low, which is also amazing. So what are the parameters you can change? You can change the steering between, I think, comfort, normal, sport, sport plus, normal, sport and sport plus. Suspension can go normal, sport and sport plus. Transmission can go normal, sport and sport plus. The LSD, eLSD, electronic limited slip differential, normal or sport. ESC, I am actually, okay, I want to turn off traction control. Please turn it off. Now it's turned off completely. Exhaust sound also has normal, sport and sport plus modes. So that's a lot of modes, and because we are on the dunes a bit, sort of felt that I'm stuck right now, but I am not. In performance options also you can change a lot of stuff, but that doesn't matter. The thing which matters to me right now is why is this car not reaching 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in the claimed time. So we're going to try that once again. Come on, you need to do it. Activate launch control. We're going to launch at a lower RPM. Launch control condition not met. Why are you behaving like a German car? What has happened to you? Who hurt you? Why are you not giving me the performance which I've asked from you? So that's a bit of a disappointment here, but I don't have much to complain about, because for the price is absolute stellar. You cannot complain or nitpick at all, because for the price this car is absolutely bonker, absolutely lovely. And so many absolutes I've said right now, I feel a bit embarrassed with the lack of vocabulary I'm having, but such a brilliant car. This is the car we should get in India, but Hyundai has very conveniently jacked up the prices of the new Verna to the Elantra's level, that there's no space for the Elantra to sit in only. But then the government is also to blame to a certain extent because of the stupid taxes, high taxation and all, which actually ruins the complete this thing. Kya ruin karta hai? Yeah, it ruins the fun only. The high taxes actually. I was seeing so many cars now. I was like wondering which are the cars and what are the cars around, and that's the reason I was a bit hesitant to get onto the throttle. So like I was telling you, that the high taxation in India is ruining all the fun, and obviously car makers also getting a bit greedy now, trying to price the cars at a higher level, and that is the reason why we no longer have value for money cars. We need a pocket rocket like this one. Hyundai can definitely bring the Elantra to India, but instead they're like, you want the Elantra, get the Verna instead. Come on, we need the Elantra, we need the Sonata, we need better, bigger and faster cars as well. We deserve the performance. Why don't we get it? I have no clue at all. So a lot of parameters being shown here. Is it unnecessary? Probably not, but it's so much fun to have so much information in hand right now. So I'm just going to come to the G-force meter. Hopefully launch control works right now. So I'm going to stop here and we are going to activate launch. So launch control activated. Left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator. This car simply can't put the power down. Usually German cars go faster than the claim numbers. This car is definitely going slower than the claim numbers, which is quite disappointing because I had definitely expected it to be a lot faster in terms of acceleration, but no, it is not. But it is a lot of fun. This car has a soul. It's stiff, it's fun, it's fast, and it sounds nice as well. So in terms of the feel-good factor, I really like the Elantra N. After driving the i20N, I was like, I can't drive this car because of the stiffness. It gives you a headache. But this one does not. It is actually a car you can live with. It's a car which is honestly an all-rounder. It's practical as well. It's fast as well. Naturally, it has to be fast with all that power. But it's a car which really gives the Octavia RS a big fist punch, which makes me believe that the Koreans have finally arrived. Anyways, one more time we should launch. I'm not going to increase the launch RPM. Hopefully it does a better job in terms of launching. Left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, and green shift, which gives me a boost, and off we go. Dude, where is the boost? Okay, launch control, so no boost here. Yeah, now a little bit of boost, and then I am disappointed with the same time. Let's do the brake test. Yeah, the brakes are not that great. So guys, if you like this video, make sure to give the thumbs up. That's a like button, and also subscribe to the channel. I will see you guys in the next video real soon. Green shift is saying condition not met for the next 30 seconds. It needs to cool down. So that green shift is just greening by not working. But before I end this video, let me put this car across the Gymkhana circuit, which means we come to drive mode, handbrake down, N mode activated here quickly. Let's come into the N mode here as well. And I'm going to come into the launch control setting right there, which means left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator. Activate launch control, revving the motor, it's ready, and off we go. Let me turn on N green shift as well, because with N green shift, obviously I get a lot more punch, a boost for 20 seconds, and the car does feel a bit on the heavier side. Brakes are strong here, and body roll is very well contained, but the front end does wash out a bit because of a slight bit of understeer. Okay, remember to make your own shifts, because that's the best way to do it. Understeering in plenty. Come on. Heavy brakes. I need some performance. Come on. And green shift. Turn this here. I'm trying to do so many things at one time, which is absolutely crazy. Yeah. Tire screeching. Give me a downshift. Come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Yeah, I had to and across the line we are. Unbelievable fun.